I think of SEO as like a sailboat, and there's wind blowing all over and you can trim the sails to catch wind and go in a direction, right? It's like creates a passive source of traffic over time if it works. And I just decided not to sail in that direction. Like that's not where I'm going today. And I use other sources of traffic. I think social media is a bit more like the oars. You got to work at it.
Welcome to the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. I'm your host, Crestodina, here to bridge the gap between SEO strategy and real-world business success. Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketer, or SEO enthusiast, this is your place to learn, share, and build a brand that stands out. So grab a coffee or your favorite tea, and let's dive into smarter SEO for your business.
I'll give you a trick, Crystal. I said this at a conference. I was speaking at the Creator Entrepreneur Exchange on Monday. I shared my little closing kind of blurb that I write in a lot of messages. Don't hesitate to reach out if you'd ever like to collaborate on anything at all. I write that so often. I got a text expander. When I type this key 3 times, it automatically appears. And it's led to tons of interactions and opportunities and collabs. I love it. So let the world know that you're open to collaborating.
This is a perfect example of that because you said that during your talk at Brighton. And I thought, hey,
there you go.
Might
Here
as
we
well
are.
Follow up. Yeah. So
I'm glad you did.
It's true. Yeah. And I'm glad that you were genuine. And I appreciate that very much to be able to have this opportunity. Thank you for paying it forward.
Always happy to help. Why wouldn't I be? Pretty much anybody wants to help others. I don't know. I'm just an optimist about that. It all works out in the end.
The SEO community has been very fun to get to know and network within and share ideas. I think so many people work by themselves or, maybe even a small team at best. Maybe they're working remote. I don't know. So to get together and talk about something that you have a mutual interest in, it's like people just light up because it's like, oh, finally I can talk about this and people's eyes aren't going to glaze over.
It's important. It satisfies a human need. You're helping people when you do that. It's a kindness, right? To build those connections. Form a mastermind group. Start a little local event. Like the interview podcast is a great idea. Here we are. I love it. It's webinars and meetups and all those things that prioritize high-touching interactions.
Yeah.
People are starving for that.
And I heard you say that before too, about the creating an event. And I thought, wow, that sounds really scary. Create an event. And what if no one comes? How do you create an event that people want to come to, like a small local event that provides value and benefit?
Well, there are a lot of little elements of content strategy that get triggered by this. If the people you're inviting are all closely aligned and the reason to attend the event is clear, then that's the R in the ROI calculation they're going to do in their brain when they get invited. If the event is close by, in person but close by, or if it's virtual, or if it's not weekly, then the I is low. People do things after doing a split-second ROI calculation, whether we realize it or not. So, hey, this is an event for Shopify website owners who are trying to improve revenue by improving visibility. Wow, that's me. Wait, okay, great. I'm going to set up a monthly call. It's going to be 45 minutes. There's going to be 8 of us, and we're all going to share our best advice. The commitment is literally just 45 minutes a month. Okay, great. The I is low, the R is high, the cost-benefit calculation, I'm in. So that is the specificity of the event is a plus. The fact that you carefully curated the attendees makes it sound exclusive. Exclusivity triggers a cognitive bias. People will be more interested in that. And literally the lift is low. It's not like a conference that's $2,000 and 3,000 miles away, even though we met at a conference that was $2,000 and 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
After that happens, right, that's the beginning of a community. And communities eventually have a completely different, new, spontaneous type of value that people get just from each other. So I have a monthly meetup. It's at a bar around the corner. It's like 40 people come every month now. It's crazy. They're getting value from each other. So, but someone's got to start it. And this is an opportunity for literally everyone listening to this show.
Yeah, that's very cool. Okay, so let's talk about some of the original research that you put out from your agency, specifically like how content marketers are using AI. And I know that was content marketers, but I know that a lot of people who are listening are wearing multiple hats of business owner and content marketer. So I was just wondering if you could share some of maybe your top insights of how people are implementing AI in their workflows or to help their businesses grow.
Yeah, you picked what is probably the best headline from a piece of research that we've done every year for 12 years. It's insane that we keep doing this. And as a content strategy, I highly recommend that at least once a year, that every brand makes themselves the primary source for new information and does a research piece. Produce a statistic or soundbite, something brand new. AI can't do that, highly differentiated. Original research is a fantastic and very powerful addition to a content strategy. You know, a survey of these people, which skin types for which makeup, I don't know, you could just do so many different things. And then get those influencers to add contributor quotes to them, because that adds a lot of value and grows your relationships and grows the reach and grows the quality of the piece. But you asked about the data itself. Yes, in this survey for the last 3 years, we've asked people how they use AI. And it's things like generate ideas, write headlines, write outlines, write complete drafts, suggest edits, write complete articles. And then we also ask the question at the end, which of the following best describes your content? I get disappointing results, I get some results, I get strong results, or I don't know. 21% of the respondents, we had 800 some this year, report strong results from digital. Now, which percentage of the people who do these things with AI report strong results from digital? And it's super interesting because really the data, it's like this one chart. It just jumps off the screen. People who use AI to write complete articles are less likely to report strong results, and people who don't use AI at all are less likely to report strong results. So the suggestion, that the insight is sort of, there's a use case here, it's effective, it has value, but people who use it too much or don't use it at all are sort of going to be the ones who are unlikely to see performance. That's a summary of that chart for sure.
That's kind of funny. I have an anecdotal story about something like that, because in my group with the SEO squad, we'd use Surfer SEO
Me
to
too.
optimize the articles. Oh yeah, I love Surfer. I love Surfer. I've been an early adopter. It was back when Jasper was leading the charge of, AI
It's good.
writing.
It's an excellent point of view, and it often catches things I missed and gives me ideas for how to expand on a piece.
We'll have to touch on that real quick before we hop off. But one of the Surfer recommendations for one of the business owners in my group was an article that just rubbed her the wrong way. The topic rubbed her the wrong way, the language, the keywords, all of that type of stuff. And I tried to explain to her, this is one of those examples of where it's not about you, as a business owner. Like, the internet is telling you exactly what people are searching for in order to find a product like yours. And so you can position yourself within that. And she fought it, for weeks, maybe a few months. And then she finally wrote it in our meeting. She was just like, oh, that blog that I hate is driving traffic. I wondered what you thought about taking recommendations from a program
A
like
tool.
Surfer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where it's similar to AI. You've got a tool and the tool is making suggestions, but you are the human content strategist that makes the final call. So let's say I write an article, I worked very hard on it. I think it's comprehensive and complete, but I'm going to take that extra step to just check to see if I missed any of these. You call them synonyms or just the semantically related phrases. So I run it through Surfer, and Surfer recommended 8 of these things, and I realized yeah, that should probably be an extra paragraph, and it'd be very easy to incorporate this word here. And in the closing, kind of the summary at the bottom, there's 2 or 3 opportunities I could put into some of these phrases. Good work. Made a difference. Help people discover it. No change in the topic. Other times, I feel the way that she did, because I wrote a piece about how to get AI to recommend your brand. And when I ran it through Surfer, this piece, it just talked all about Google's AI overview. My article is not about Google's AI overview. It's about, it spans across models. So all of the Surfer recommendations were things that I just didn't feel like were a fit, and I didn't like them, and I didn't change it. I think of SEO as like a sailboat, and there's wind blowing all over, and you can trim the sails to catch wind and go in a direction, right? It's like creates a passive source of traffic over time if it works. And I just decided not to sail in that direction. Like, that's not where I'm going today. And I use other sources of traffic. I think social media is a bit more like the oars. You got to work at it, but I promoted that in other channels, and I love that article. I'm happy with it. And I just decided not to optimize it in that way. You gave a great point, and I love that, because it's the moment when the person decides for themselves. And in that case, there was a big lift from adapting the content. Other times, really only maybe a third to half of my articles these days are optimized for search at all. I'm a content strategist. I'm not an SEO strategist. And I want to be a full funnel marketer that focuses not just on traffic, but on conversion. SEOs, I joke, are all cheese and no mousetrap. I'm mixing a lot of metaphors here for you, Crystal. But there's more to life than search. And traffic from any source, regardless, is insufficient for demand, right? You need to convert the visitor as well.
Yeah. Heather Physiok was someone else that presented at Brighton a couple of years ago. And her presentation stuck with me. It was jobs to be done and jobs theory. And we just talked about it on the podcast recently.
Hmm.
And so, of course, I made a jobs to be done GPT. And so, like, that's what I run all of my ideas through before I put them in Surfer. And I'm
Hmm.
teaching the Shopify people how to do that as well, because like you mentioned
Right.
before, there's certain elements of the
Yeah.
page that are more UX focused than just SEO focused. You've got to have the social proof. You've got to have like the search intent aligned and who you're talking to and extra images and maybe some video. And I love the idea of putting like original charts and graphics or
Sure.
comparison tables and that type of thing. And you can do that now very quickly if you have the right framework. I have my concept, my idea, my semantic keywords or
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm. Yeah.
I never know the right words for this type of stuff. And then, I put it in the jobs to be done GPT, and then I optimize it in Surfer. And it's created some really cool stuff that I'm really proud of. I feel like
Good
it
for you.
helps kind of check the box, of a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So,
I think I have an email in my inbox right now from this guy who's sending me these articles. Like, why doesn't this rank? And why doesn't this rank? And he keeps sending me more. These are skyscraper technique. These are 10,000 word articles, and they were working for years, and now they're not.
mhm,
His focus is on word count.
mhm.
If that was like the main search ranking factor, then the longest content would win. Like, it's just such a narrow perspective.
Yeah.
Google's looking for novelty. This is a fantastic video. Matt Williams Cook, I think his name is. He like found a vulnerability in Google, and then
Oh, that Mark
Mark,
Williams?
that guy. Did you
Yeah.
watch that video? Yeah,
I watched, yeah, when he was it in
Mark.
Poland or
Thank you.
something? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's this very understated guy, but they were able to detect Google traffic flowing through networks. And Google has a bounty for finding vulnerabilities, and Google paid him
Mhm.
after he discovered
Yeah.
this. It wasn't like shady at all. And he was just talking about what was in the data. It becomes clear that Google just doesn't want to have the same information in 10 times on a search results page. And actually, I think this is really relevant because what is Surfer doing? It's scanning the other high ranking pages, the SEO key phrases on there, the semantically related phrases, deduplicating them, counting the frequency of them, and then comparing your content to theirs. I don't love that part of digital. I'm
Right.
sorry, but that is a little bit, let's all run toward the middle of the mainstream where content is sort of shallow and undifferentiated. My custom GPTs do things like audit content to identify, does it have unique points of view? Is there a personal angle here? Is the content strongly supported with evidence? Is there internal links? Is there a visual at every scroll depth? Basically, user-first approach to content marketing. Lydia Infante, who's the head of SEO for SurveyMonkey, gave me a great quote in a contributor quote. I learn a lot by collaborating with influencers. She said, all content needs user research. Some content needs SEO research. Correct,
That's
right?
good.
Like, I'm not writing for Google, and search is not my only channel. And
Yeah.
even if search worked, I care deeply about the impact on this person's life. And these things are not measurable. There's no metrics. It's like, how memorable was this article? Did people talk about this article? But I hear the feedback. Hey, Andy, when you sent that, we paused everything and had a meeting and talked about your article. That I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. I knew this conversation was going to be amazing, and it has went by so fast. I thought I was going to be so innovative, but then I realized a lot of podcasts do rapid fire.
I've been running on too long. This has been a great conversation, but I'll be super brief, I promise.
You're awesome. The insight that you're sharing, it's so priceless for all of us. So I appreciate that. Okay. So question number one is, in your perspective, SEO, GEO, IDC, or IDK?
AEO?
And I should
I
have said,
don't
or
know.
something else.
Yeah, I've been calling it just AI optimization because I'm not really sure yet. And I hope someone settles this once and for all.
Yeah, I'll have to add that one to the list. What about SEO is dying or SEO is dead?
SEO is absolutely not dying because you can see it in your analytics. There's people visiting your site from search right now. Zero
Yeah.
click is total BS because there's people clicking through to websites right now. But the reality is that organic click-through rates from search have been dropping since 2019. And the reason is that there's lots of search engine results page features. AI overviews are just the new one.
Yeah. Did you have any emotional response to the Google PR statement that even though some businesses are experiencing a drop in traffic, that they haven't really experienced that significant of a drop in clicks?
The impact is mostly to information intent queries, people landing on articles. Commercial intent queries are much less impacted because those people are trying to get to a website. They have visit website intent. And with that in mind, no, because the people who are complaining that an advertising platform is not giving them free traffic from visitors who didn't want to visit a website anyway.
Mhm.
What an absurd thing to be upset about. Do you complain that
Yep.
other ad companies don't give you free visibility? That there's
Okay,
no
that's
confusion
funny.
about what's happening here.
What about Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, or something else?
ChatGPT,
Best use case for AI and SEO.
gap analysis. Does this URL satisfy all this visitor's information needs?
Okay. AI agents, hype or breakthrough.
Eventually breakthrough.
Google AI overviews, good, bad, or ugly.
Good for humans. It's the answer you're looking for. It's a positive upgrade to the internet. The people that didn't want to visit a website shouldn't have to visit a website. You got your answer. Same as people also ask boxes.
Jobs in SEO that AI is most likely to take in 2026.
Software developers.
Jobs least likely to be taken.
Content strategists.
And finally, best AI powered app for SEO that no one knows about.
It's the custom GPT I built last week.
I love it. I'm going to follow up afterwards. Can I have a link to that custom GPT? So, Andy Crestodina, thank you so much for joining me today. This conversation was amazing.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks for being here on the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. I'll drop all your links in the show notes. So if people want to follow you and connect with you, they can do that. Is there any specific place you'd like me to send them?
This is the research piece we were talking about.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend.
This was great. I know. What a great Friday. Thanks, Crystal. Let's keep in touch, okay?
All right. Will do.